Dear friends, welcome to this week's virtual Drasha. This week we have the incredible privilege of Parshas Reeh. And the Parsha begins in what appears to be a pretty straightforward idea. Profound, beautiful, yet straightforward. Moshe Rabbeinu says, literally the opening pasuk, Reeh, Anochi nosei lefnechem hayom bracha uklala. See, I have placed before you today a blessing and a curse. And then Moshe Rabbeinu goes on to explain, if you choose the blessing, there's going to be one set of ramifications and repercussions. You choose chas v'shalom, again, the negative things, there's going to be another set of repercussions and results. And on the most basic level, Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching Klal Yisrael that life is filled with decisions. Whereas so often in life, we don't really want to make decisions. We kind of like to remain parav. I don't want bracha, I don't want klal, I just kind of want something right in the middle. Moshe Rabbeinu reminds us of this yesod that we all know, that the only place in life you'll find parav is in your kitchen. But outside of the kitchen, there's no parav in life. Everything in life is a decision, and everything in life requires that a decision be made. And pretty much every decision falls into one of two buckets. There are brachas, there are blessings, and there are klalos, and there are curses. There's right and there's wrong. There's kasher, there's treif. There's tameh, there's tahar, there's night, there's day. That's it. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, see, in every single moment of every single day, you have to make decisions. And those decisions also often are between bracha and klal. And Moshe Rabbeinu tells Klal Yisrael, please, choose wisely. This is Moshe Rabbeinu again. We speak about this every week. How Moshe Rabbeinu, the loving shepherd of Klal Yisrael, wants so badly to be able to prepare them for the journey and the destiny ahead. So as Klal Yisrael, life is filled with decisions. And every single moment of every single day, you have to make decisions. Re'eh, anochi nosim lefnechem hayom. See, I'm placing before you today, bracha and klala, choose wisely. The great tzaddik, Rav Baruch of Mezhbiz, who was the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh, sees an additional layer of profound meaning in this relatively straightforward verse. The Rebbe says like this, he reads it a little bit differently. He says, Re'eh, Moshe Rabbeinu was telling Klal Yisrael the following idea. And remember again, when Moshe Rabbeinu spoke, Moshe Rabbeinu, so to speak, he was the mouthpiece, right? He was the mouthpiece of the Ribbon Shalom. He conveyed to Klal Yisrael the deepest and most beautiful thoughts on behalf of the Ribbon Shalom to Klal Yisrael. He was the mouthpiece. Like the Gemara says that the Shechina Medaberes Mitoch Grono Shel Moshe, which literally means the divine presence, spoke through the throat, through the mouth of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was the mouthpiece of the divine. He was the mouthpiece of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And says the Rebbe of Mezhbiz, says the Baruch of Mezhbiz, something amazing. Moshe Rabbeinu was saying as follows, Re'eh, Klal Yisrael, here's what I want you to see. And here's what I want you to be attentive to. Anochi noseim lefnechem hayom. Anochi has given himself over to you today. What does this mean? Who's Anochi? And the Rebbe says so beautifully, Anochi is Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Anochi refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So what does this mean? Listen to the words of the Rebbe. Anochi kiviyachol, to the Rebbe himself, es atzmi ani nosein biyadchem. I'm giving myself into your hands. Look how the Rebbe reads the pasuk. Re'eh, Klal Yisrael, see, be attentive. Anochi nosein lifnechem hayom. I'm giving myself. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to us, I'm giving myself over to you. Incredible. The Ribbon Shalom says to us, I'm giving myself over to you, right? We spend our lives focusing on Mesiras Nafesh, which is our giving of ourselves over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Ribbon Shalom says, it's almost like it's reciprocal. Re'eh, Moshe Rabbeinu says, see, be attentive. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, nosein lefnechem hayom. I give myself, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, over to you today and every day. What does this mean? So the Rebbe understands that one of the tenets in Chassidus is HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes there. That ultimately, again, that the Ribbon Shalom has the ability, it makes a gzeira, obviously HaKadosh Baruch Hu do anything, and the tzaddik mevatel, the tzaddik, sometimes through his own spiritual intervention, could overturn a decree from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Obviously, nothing happens without HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and nothing can be done against the divine will. But the Ribbon Shalom has vested the tzaddik with this power to overturn divine decrees. So almost kiviyachol, like the Rebbe says, tzaddik moshel b'yiras Elokim. The tzaddik has the ability to control things. Amra HaKadosh Baruch Hu liyisa macharti lachem torasi kiviyachol nimkarti imohem. Ultimately, again, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I've given myself over to you. So the tzaddik, who's the tzaddik? Any one of us can become tzaddikim if we work hard enough. The tzaddik has the ability, kiviyachol, to control HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, of course, understand, it's not literal. Nothing could control HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But the Rebbe Shalom is telling us the power that we possess, that even when HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes a gzera, makes a decree, if we put our spiritual mind to it, if we conduct our spiritual energy in the right direction, there is no telling what we can accomplish. That's what the Rebbe says. But I think what the Rebbe also is conveying to us is a different idea. which is so often in life, right? We work on our emunah, or hopefully we work on our emunah. And what does it mean to have emunah? To have emunah, to have a sense of bitachon, even though we use those words interchangeably, but they really mean different things, a sense of faith, a sense of security. But right now, we'll just use them together. It really means a giving over of ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That I trust that the Ribono Shel Olam runs the world, and therefore I believe that it's Latova, it's good. That I believe that the Ribono Shel Olam choreographs my life, and therefore even the things that don't understand, I believe with all of my heart and all of my soul that they're good, that everything somehow, Gamzu Latova, maybe I'll see it, the good, maybe I won't. Maybe it'll happen in my lifetime, maybe future generations. But I spend an entire lifetime trying to cultivate a sense of giving myself over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And one of the hardest things we have to work on is a yielding of control to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That Ribono Shel Olam, you hold the reins. You hold the reins. You're in charge. And I have to figure out how to not only be at peace with that, but how to rejoice in that knowledge that you are the great universal, national, personal choreographer. You do everything. And I think what the Rebbe of Meshbitz is saying is that, but there's another side to that coin. The other side to that coin is, as I'm working on giving myself over to the Ribono Shel Olam, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kiviyachol says, and by the way, I believe in you to make things happen. Don't just look heavenward to make things happen. Don't just put everything on me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. But the Ribono Shel Olam whispers in our ear and he tells us, he reminds us, you have so much more power than you even realize. You have so much more control than you're even cognizant of. I'm not going to say that we're masters of our fate, because the truth is, the Ribono Shel Olam is the master of our fate, but the Ribono Shel Olam gives us the reins at so many different moments, at so many different intervals, and at so many crucial intersections of life. On one hand, we work on giving ourselves over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but the corollary to that is Reeh Anochi Nosim Lifnechem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you're in control. You're in control. Okay, not of everything. I got it. But you're in control of so much. You have so much power. You have so much koach. You're able to guide your life in a particular direction if you choose to do it. You see, the Rebbe is framing it as Re'eh Anochi Nosim Lefnechem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, see, I, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I Hashem, am giving myself over to you. So the Rebbe says, that's the power of the tzaddik to overturn even a negative divine decree. But it's so much more. And it's not just about the tzaddik, it's about each of us who are on the journey to becoming tzaddikim. It's like HaKadosh Baruch Hu whispering in our ear, yes, thank you so much for working on your emunah. Thank you so much for working on your bitachon. Thank you so much on working on giving yourself over to me. But don't yield responsibility for your life. Don't outsource your success solely even to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I give myself over to you. What does it mean HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives himself over to me and you? What does that mean? It means that he's telling us, he's whispering in our ear, you have control. You have control. You're not powerless in this world. You're not powerless in your life. You have the ability to make of yourself what you want. You have the ability to make of your life what you want. Yes, are there constraints? Are there limitations? Of course. And does it happen sometimes that I do all the right things, but yet I don't get the desired result? Absolutely, because the ultimate choreographer is the one who's in charge. But don't think that because the Ribono Shel Olam is in charge that I am not. That's not true. Re'eh Anochi Nosein Lifnechem Hayom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, the same way we work to give ourselves over to him, the Ribono Shel Olam Kiviyachol gives himself over to us. And says the Rebbe of Meshbitz, what that means is you're in control. You have power over your life. You have power over the direction of your existence. You have power over you. You know, it's incredible. I've mentioned this before, but every morning we start our day with Moda'ani. And we say, Moda'ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayom. Thank you, Hashem, right, eternal King. Shechazarta bi nishmasi b'chemla. You've given me back my soul, right, with compassion, with chemla. Rabba emunasecha. Great is your faith. And the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh says, what does it mean, Rabba emunasecha? That what we're saying is, Ribono Shel Olam, great is your faith. Faith in what? And the Rebbe says, your faith in me. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows me to wake up in the morning, what he's saying is, I believe you could accomplish something great. Because if I had nothing to accomplish, then I wouldn't have woken up. If I had nothing to contribute, I wouldn't have been given the gift of another day of life. Rabba Munasecha, we start the day by acknowledging how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu believes in each of us. He believes in us. He gives himself over to us because he believes that we have the koach, we have the power, we have the ability to make something great of ourselves and of our lives. And there is this incredible dialectic. I spend so much energy and so much time, both physical energy and time, and again, emotional and cognitive and spiritual energy and time, focusing on giving myself over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because it's not easy to do that, right? Man's almost like innate disposition is to be independent, right? Kochi va'otzem yadi. So I have to work and give myself over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And amazingly enough, as I'm working to give myself over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what happens? Reeh, see, anochi nosem lifnechem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives himself over to us. Because as much as I have to cultivate a sense of emunah, there's a danger in emunah. And I know this sounds strange. What's the danger in emunah? That you fully, wholly, and absolutely outsource your success, taking no responsibility for who you are, what you are, or the life you're going to live. So in this incredible dialectic, as I'm giving myself over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kiviyachol the Ribono Shel Olam is giving himself over to me. And it's almost as if he whispers in my ear, Tatala, Shefala, there are so many things in this world you can't control. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, but trust me, my child. I've got your back. I've got your back, I promise. And it may hurt, and there may be tears, and there may be scars, and there may be bruises, and you may be wounded over the journey of life, but I promise I've got your back. And I have to work on myself to be able to listen to that voice and to be able to internalize that voice. But at the same time, what does he say? Take the reins. Take the reins. Make it happen. You want something? Go for it. You want something? Roll up your sleeves and work hard. You want something? Put your mind to it. Re'eh anochi nosem lifnechem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I give myself over to you. You have control. You have power. Don't underestimate your abilities to affect the change. And as we go into Shabbos, Mevarchim Chodesh Elul, and we go, it's incredible, it's overwhelming to think about that. We enter now into this last month of this year, a year that has been overwhelmingly tumultuous for Am Yisrael and for Eretz Yisrael, but a year that has also brought so much bracha and so much simcha and so many beautiful and good things. And for many of us, Elul brings with it a certain sense of dread. And I don't mean the dread, of like, miyichye or miyamos. Okay, we always live with that. Who's going to live? That's not the dread. I'm talking about the kind of dread that comes, that feeling that comes when you realize, it's Elul. And I had so much I wanted to do, and so much I wanted to accomplish, and so much I wanted to be, but yet I didn't get it done. And we hear the voice of Moshe Rabbeinu saying, the voice of Reb Baruch of Mezhbis saying, it's okay. There's time. Re'eh anochi nosem lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. There's time. You have control. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives himself over to us. You can make something happen in a month. A month is a lifetime. A month could be multiple lifetimes. What a Yid could accomplish in a month, the world doesn't even understand. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I, the Rimosham, I, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, give myself over to you. You have control. Rabba Emunah Secha, I believe in you. Use the month to its fullest. You're not happy with the way the year went? Still another month left. You're not happy with the things you did accomplish? There's still plenty of time. We spend our time giving ourselves over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the Ribono Shalom reciprocates by giving himself over to us and whispering in our ear, I give myself over to you because I believe that you have the koach, the ability, the drive, the desire, and the vision to make great things happen in your life. May we zochem Me'eretz Hashem to hear that beautiful divine voice, and the Me'eretz Hashem may give us chizuk to be able to accomplish great things in this month of Elul. Haba Aleinu Latova. Wishing everyone a good night of Shabbos and a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh.